Hi, welcome to the Resources Roadhouse. I'm Wally Graham. I'm with Brett Smith, Managing Director of Corazon Mining. Corazon Mining have two exploration fronts, one in Canada at the Lynn Lake Nickel Project, but most of the company's current focus is on its New South Wales project, Mount Gilmore, where it has the Cobalt Ridge prospect. Now Brett, there's been a bit of activity at Cobalt Ridge of late. What have you been doing there?
Yeah, thanks Wally. Yeah, we are very active in New South Wales at Cobalt Ridge, but we haven't given up in Lynn Lake in Canada. In Canada, we're doing low-cost, low-key work that is going to add a lot of value to the company. We've added 6,000 drill holes to our drill hole database there, historical data. That's impacted on our current resources. We need to upgrade those resources. There'll be improvement in the JORC category, we believe, and we also think we'll add some more tonnes. And we're also adding cobalt to that resource for the very first time. Cobalt historically mined, but not accounted for in the resources or the mining reconciliation. So that's going to be a good credit for that operation and add a lot of value. Exploration-wise in Canada, we pull back a little bit to focus on the resources because of the positive forecast for the nickel price next year. So we would need those resources to be at a stage that if we decide to go into scoping studies or mining studies, that we can do that with those resources. Most of our exploration activity, as you said, is in New South Wales at Mount Gilmore. When we picked up that project in mid-2016, we focused on, it's a large project, but there's one small prospect there that had cobalt in it, Cobalt Ridge, drill defined over only 300 metres. That's open in all directions, so what we're about now is to identify drill targets contiguous with that mineralisation, but also start stepping out. And the big question was really, how big is Cobalt Ridge? And we're still trying to answer that question, but what's the possibility of Mount Gilmore having additional cobalt prospects? And some of the news the investors would have seen come out in the last couple of weeks or few weeks has identified additional mineralisation through soil geochemistry, and these prospects, as far as the geochemical anomalies go, are more significant than what we have at Cobalt Ridge.
Okay, so having done that so far, what's sort of in the immediate future there?
Well, we've just finished a detailed aeromagnetic survey which is showing us some really interesting things. I think the detailed 3D ground IP finishes today on site, and then they're packing up, and that's to map the sulphide mineralisation contiguous with the drilling, as I said, but also along strike undercover. And we're doing the closing off and doing detailed geochem immediately adjacent to Cobalt Ridge, and all that's defined at creating a drill program for mid-year. So we've had an entire year at Mount Gilmore has been scheduled around the geophysical contractors when they're available and when they can come and do the work. So they finish now. It takes us about a month to process the data, get the work programs in, and so we're looking at drilling late June or July, mid-year this year. Then one of the new prospects we announced is at 12 k's north of Cobalt Ridge. It's our first step out into the greater Mount Gilmore project. And we haven't even tested anything in between that. And there's numerous historical copper gold workings all through that country. So.
Yeah, great. Well, it sounds like there's a fair bit going on, and so we'll be looking forward to hearing all about it. So stay tuned to the Roadhouse. We'll bring it to you. Thanks very much, Brett.